I'm Andrew Muma. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I'm a senior partner at the Muma and Kanjama Advocates. I also lecture at the University of Nairobi, where I lecture evidence and environmental law. Yeah. I think the political landscape at the moment is what I can describe as a bit hostile towards the judiciary by the executive on what the judiciary is perceived to be doing wrong. I think we as lawyers must be very concerned and must be very and must stand up to be seen as people who will not stand that kind of attack on the judiciary, because we derive our bread and butter, as we call it, from the judiciary. We practice our law in the judiciary, so that any attack on the judiciary without basis is an attack on all of us as lawyers. And I feel that the executive must know its limits, especially when dealing with the judiciary. I think the Law Society of Kenya is a society that is on the spot, more or less because it has always stood firm over the years on various issues. One thing that I feel has been overlooked that is affecting the society at the moment is that we have really pressed firm on the mandate of the society, which is to ensure that the rule of law is upheld at the expense of the welfare of members. So I think what the main problem that is now affecting the society going forward should be, what is the society going to do about the welfare of our membership? I'm not saying we should not stand firm on the rule of law. I'm not saying we should not disobey, we should not call a spade as a society when needed to do so. But what I'm saying is that we should not lose sight of the fact that we are a membership that is losing touch with each other. And that needs to be redesigned, needs to be solidified together, so that we walk going forward as one organization and not two, where young lawyers are on one side and senior lawyers are on the other side, and mid-age lawyers are also somewhere in the middle. Yeah. My expectation on the Law Society of Kenya going forward, I think, would be twofold. One is to ensure that their membership, which is us, are heard, and their membership concerns are actually dealt with conclusively. And this, I stress, must be done not losing sight of the fact that part of their membership concerns would be that the rule of law is not being obeyed. And therefore, even as they do so, they must continue, and as we go forward, the new dispensation must continue to trumpet the fact that we must walk in a society where the rule of law is obeyed and the rule of law guides us in every aspect of our undertakings. Yes. My take on the forthcoming elections is that I think we should all come out as members of the Law Society of Kenya and vote. Let us exercise our right as professionals within the Law Society, so that we are able to get somebody who is going to champion these two aspects that the Law Society must deal with and confront. My take is that with Madam Faith Odhiambo, we as the Law Society of Kenya stand a chance to rectify some of the wrongs that have been done before, and more particularly the presumed exclusion of young lawyers from positions of leadership, the presumed exclusion of young lawyers from general activities of the Law Society, and to be the bridge that is going to link the senior bar, the middle bar, if I may call it so, and the young lawyers, because herself, she's young, and we expect that with her age in the profession, she's able to understand better what the young lawyers are going through, and therefore stand firm in terms of ensuring that their needs are catered for, so that we don't have two societies, but we have one solid society. Of course, on the issue of rule of law, I think her track record is quite good, even within the previous society or the previous leadership, where she was a vice president, that she stood firm. Of course, they found a period when the society had sunk to its lowest, and subsequently bringing back the Law Society of Kenya to where it is now is an achievement both on her part and the president, Mr. Theuri. And we are in a position where, propelling forward, I think she's an ideal candidate to ensure that this bridge between the young lawyers and the senior lawyers is built, and also to ensure that the rule of law continues to be upheld. And I say this because I lecture with her at the University of Nairobi. And one thing about teachers, and all teachers will bear me witness in this aspect, is that there is a sense of integrity and a sense of knowledge with respect to trying to bring people together. And this, I think, is a quality in her that I cherish, a quality in her that will work to her benefit. If you have dealt with students and managed to graduate a number of them without many complaints, and then I think she is the right person to deal with the situation we have at the Law Society of Kenya now, especially of concern, which is the senior bar and the junior bar. Talking about rule of law, I think she has come out quite strongly in terms of being at the forefront to ensure that the rule of law is followed and that the government does not intimidate judicial officers. So I think amongst the candidates, I think she comes out as a leader who is able to bring this society lost glory back. Thank you. What I can say about my faith in faith is that she's young, she's vibrant, and I can say that she brings in an aura of freshness in leadership, especially what we need at the moment. And from judging from her background as a practitioner, judging from her background as a lecturer, judging from her background as a fighter when she was in FIDA for the rights of women and children in various aspects of the society, I think she comes in as somebody who I can endorse and actually ask the membership of the Law Society of Kenya to vote for, so that she can be our next president of the Law Society of Kenya. It's been over 2 decades since we had a female president of the Law Society of Kenya, and I think it's about time that we got one, because we remember very vividly the time Omamu Rachel was chair, and there was equal. There was I think there was what you call the judiciary was undergoing a lot of corruption and integrity issues, and I think there was a yellow ribbon campaign at that point in time, and she stood really firm to ensure that we had the judiciary that works. Of course, now that the Constitution came up and we can say we have a judiciary that works, I think it is time that we have faith in the person coming in to ensure that if we have a judiciary that works, let us improve on it and not throw it away. Thank you.